with that, I'm just going to share my screen here. All right. Good morning. Thank you for joining me today for our webinar, The Problem with Relying on Spreadsheets. The main objective for our session today is show you how to improve your planning so that your business can make better decisions when adjusting to continuous market changes. We're going to talk about the benefits of moving into a platform planning solution versus being in Excel and using static spreadsheets. As mentioned, my name is Adam Holden. I'm a channel manager at Insight Software, and Optimus is one of our industry partners. As an agenda, a few key areas that I will touch on today. First is the challenges and pain points many of you may be experiencing using spreadsheets. The second is solutions, including a demo and example I'll provide of Bizview, and then we'll touch briefly on Bizview plus Jet reports, and then wrap up with a question and answer session. Just to lay the background here for those of you that aren't familiar with Insight, at Insight Software, we are laser focused on serving the needs of the office of the CFO. We know that many finance teams are dragged down by time-consuming, repetitive, manual processes, and that this prevents them from spending more time on value-added analysis. We help finance teams all over the world automate their processes and get more out of their data. We're the leader in financial reporting solutions, and we enable users to extract data from over 140 different ERPs and present it in a tool that users are comfortable with, whether that's Excel, a dashboarding tool, or an online platform like we'll discuss today. With the increasing pace of change facing today's businesses in a climate of uncertainty, implementing agile planning and forecasting processes to respond quickly to events is essential for any organization. However, as organizations grow and more people become involved in planning, they find that their old spreadsheet-based planning process no longer cuts it, or their ERP's native planning isn't granular enough to support their needs. Or sometimes they find out that they need to make continuous updates and model various scenarios beyond just one annual budgeting cycle. When organizations rely on manual spreadsheets for planning, budgeting, and forecasting, the planning process becomes overly long, less transparent, and prone to errors. As data volumes and number of budget contributors increase, managing multiple Excel workbooks, controlling data entry and approvals, and ensuring the integrity of the data in Excel and avoiding errors becomes increasingly time-consuming and challenging. Also, when planning data is siloed across departments and operational and financial planning processes are conducted in a vacuum, there's no consistent, accurate end-to-end view, and this makes it hard for an organization to pull together to achieve its strategic objectives. And then finally, when you lack the capability or flexibility to readily model and test future scenarios, it's hard to plan for different business outcomes, which can mean you run the risk of incurring unexpected or unnecessary costs or missing out on new opportunities because you're flying blind and forced to base decisions on gut feelings rather than on the data. So what does planning effectively look like? To plan effectively, successful organizations need robust, integrated, and complete budgeting, planning, and forecasting systems that enable them to do a few different things. So the first thing is implement a robust and agile planning process to improve budgeting and forecasting accuracy and shorten cycle times. This requires automating tasks and workflows through a repeatable, standardized process that automatically updates to reflect changes in your ERP system. The next thing is integrating planning across departments for greater accuracy and strategic impact. This requires providing intuitive user interfaces that enable frontline workers to readily participate in planning and provide built-in collaboration to enable effective communication across departments and stakeholders. And then finally, you need to adopt advanced planning capabilities such as driver-based planning and advanced forecasting models for greater accuracy, backed up with productivity tools such as spread rules and system proposed forecasting. So this is where Bizview comes in. Bizview is a robust web-based planning solution that increases cadences, facilitates collaboration, and simplifies processes to drive smarter decisions for more accurate data. You can easily configure planning forms, reports, and dashboards. We've got driver-based models that make it easy to extend planning beyond finance. And then Bizview's got a familiar spreadsheet-like interface that offers data anytime on any device without having to manage multiple spreadsheets and versions. It's also got powerful workflows, automated emails, and multi-level approval that helps shrink cycle times to enable continuous planning and rolling forecasts. And then we've also got out-of-the-box content and connectors to ensure a fast time to value. Bizview offers fast, scalable cloud planning software in a browser-based solution that is specifically designed to facilitate and accelerate planning processes. It allows users to easily adapt their business processes by supporting the more advanced needs of mid-market organizations with modern, flexible technology that lets you handle any number of planning dimensions and easily integrates operational and financial models without sacrificing a level of granularity. It lets users easily compare actuals to plan for faster and smarter decisions and continuously monitor and reforecast throughout the year. Again, the familiarity of Excel with centralized consolidation allows for easier user adoption, but the browser-based is good for ease of deployment, working off a single central data source for consistency. And this allows you to customize your planning process to drive greater accuracy. It's also really good for scaling and adapting to your growing business needs. It's going to let you scale to support the needs of growing organizations and improve team output and collaboration by automating tasks and dashboards to maximize productivity. It provides intuitive built-in analytics to help you track business performance, automated email distribution to manage approval cycles, and time-saving features such as system proposed forecasting and automatic form filling using predetermined spread keys. This lets you extend your planning beyond the office of the CFO and enable the frontline workers who understand your core business to participate in the planning process. And it also offers the shortest time to value. You can get up and running typically within 30 to 40 days. Pre-built content and connectors make it easy to configure using Excel formulas. And there's a shallow learning curve thanks to the spreadsheet-like feel, which makes for a quick, low-risk implementation with total cost of ownership. The number of use cases with Bizview is almost endless. It ranges from everything from sales and demand budgeting and forecasting to employee FTE planning, cost and budget results, project pre-calculations and budget follow-ups, cash flow forecasting, and much more. All right, so next I want to jump into Bizview and give you an idea of what it looks like. All right, so as mentioned, Bizview is a web-based application, which means that you can access it anywhere from any device, anytime. I'll start with the home screen here. This is an open interface, it's fully customizable. There's also the option here to have a multi-entity setup. It doesn't just have to be one database or instance. You can consolidate multiple entities together into Bizview, and I'll show you how that's done here. So I'll click on my initials in the upper corner and hit Change Client. What you'll notice here is it's broken out by country, but you can also break it out by entity, and you can include as many other countries and entities as you'd like. All right, so on the left-hand side of the screen here, you'll see your main modules and features. We're going to cover a couple areas here in this overview, including inputs, which is your planning area, workflows, reporting, dash flows, and analytics. So I'll start here with input. This menu is fully customizable to a variety of different templates and any forms that you want to include. I'm going to start with the employee budget, since this is a question that comes up from a lot of customers. So I'm going to come here to the selection dropdown and I'm going to go into option 1, New York, and budget version 1. So as you notice, it does have an Excel-like feel here. The green fields are locked, gray indicates that they come from ERP, and you can see all of the employees listed on the left. So you can go ahead and change any of these numbers here, increase salaries, change the numbers to whatever they need to be. And then when you hit save, it's going to automatically update and it saves back to Bizview's database. You can go in and look at the different formulas and what makes up these numbers by clicking view and then formula bar. You can add grid lines to give it more of an Excel-like feel or take them away. There's a lot of flexibility here with what you can do. We go over to the right-hand side and click show. You can go ahead and include as much detail or as little detail as you want, selecting the different boxes to get a more in-depth breakdown. So I'll demonstrate that here just by clicking through a little bit. You can also add in comments, show more detail. Just another example of flexibility of showing what you can do here. So next, what I'll do, I'll go in here and go into results budget. From here, I can select the same options that I had previously. And then hit open. So from a results budget standpoint, this is a fully customizable numbers that employee budgets that I showed you on the flow here. There's the opportunity here with spread keys, as you can set the spread keys to whatever you want in terms of budget planning. You can use last year's or have seasonal allocations or pick one of the other options. Notice here I can click and insert comments anywhere I want. And then you can save them. It creates a nice audit trail and I can go back and check it if I need to. I also have the ability to drill down and see the details. If there are other collaborators, I can see their comments on the right-hand side here, pull out this menu and you can see those comments. I can also go into any cell here, click into it, add comments, look at the audit trail, any of those types of things, just to see what's making up this number. If you decide you make a mistake, it's easy just to go in and click restore formula. It'll update the formulas from here. And then you've got a variety of different options to export from here. All right, so next I want to talk about workflow. This is an example here where you can publish across multiple teams and collaborate as part of your budget preparation process. It's great for distributed teams that may not work in a central office because they have the ability to be able to work anywhere, anytime with a variety of devices. If you see gray, it means it's not started yet. Green means it's finalized. Yellow means it's in the works. You only see the areas based on your admin access. Here you can upload documents, comments. If you go into the results budget here of New York, and you hit open, it'll take you to the results budget that you've seen, except this time you have the opportunity to approve it and you're able to track where it is in terms of the approval process. The next thing I'll show you here is reports. Please note these reports are focused around your budget and planning process. They're not going to give you the flexibility and functionality that Jet offers as far as your dynamics reporting goes. And so I can select any of these reports here. I'll select a profit and loss just for simplicity's sake here, and then show you how easy it is to pull this up. So I'll go in here, I'll select a budget. I'll select New York, that's the one we were working on, and then hit open. And so you're opening the template right from here. Now you can drill down into the transactions. It'll pull up all the transactions here. You can share it, view it, look at the formulas again here. You can close out of this. And you can even pull up invoices right from there too. It stores all your documents right here in the platform. So next, I'm going to move on to dashboards. And this is another area that our clients love to roll up to management. This is all the visual controls. This is live interactive dashboards for your data. So I'll go in here and select one of these. You can control back to the menu. These are fully customizable. And I'll just click through and show you some of the examples here with the dashboards and what's available from financial planning to financial reporting. Again, fully customizable to meet your needs and be set up however you want. It's a pretty robust data visualization tool to build in business insights into your planning process. All right, and so the last thing I'll show you here in this before we go back to the PowerPoint and talk a little bit about JET plus Bizview is the analytics. This is another facet of the application here. In this scenario, you can pivot in Excel similar to a drag and drop. So you can click in and get the information that you're looking for. You can adjust this, drop down, see more details, and just click and unclick things. You can add it to the navigation menu as a bookmark. That way you have it linked back here, and then put analytics into your favorite view. So what I'm going to do now is just go back to the home screen here and go back into PowerPoints and talk a little bit about JET plus Bizview here and how these two work together. So finance professionals love Excel. So what happens if you let them access budget data in Excel and combined with real-time actuals from your dynamic system? Compared to your current manual planning process, what if that enabled you to eliminate these challenges? Things like disjointed workflow, switching between planning system and ERP to investigate variance is a huge time suck. Stale data is a challenge. Reports don't include latest actuals, delaying time-critical processes at month end during the budget cycle, or slow manual processes like creating variance reports relies on time-consuming error and can be prone to errors with data dumps. By connecting Bizview and JET reports, FP&A teams are able to increase business agility because this reduces their manual workload and enables them to spend more time on value-adding activities so they can forecast more frequently and more accurately, which means a faster delivery. Shortening reporting cycles by automatically combining plan and live actuals in one Excel report. Granularity speeds up variance analysis with integrated drill down to granular ERP data. Transparency allows users to gain deeper visibility into the planning process with easy access to data from any ERP module. As an example, in the real world, this means during period close, when controllership passes the baton to FP&A, FP&A can validate immediately that any adjustment entries they request match up with the budget. No waiting on batch processes, no manual data dumps. So when they're annualizing expenses, accounts variance, FP&A can drill right down to the vendor and invoice details into Excel. This means they complete the process up to 5 times faster than when they have to keep switching between their planning tool and their dynamic system. Bizview data replicated to the Cloud Connector SaaS platform. JET reports accesses Bizview data through Cloud Connector. FP&A teams can then use pre-built Excel functions in JET reports to easily add live actuals from Microsoft Dynamics alongside budget modules and budget versions being pulled from Bizview, and they can use standard Excel formulas to calculate variance. So some best practices here would be things like ensuring master data, especially legal entities, chart of accounts, cost centers, departments, and other dimensions, making sure those are aligned in Bizview and ERP for seamless reporting. So the last thing I want to touch on here is the user types. There is a platform subscription. And then as far as user types go, there's administrators that can manage all configurations for users, access, controls, versions, workflow. They also have access to input templates. Designers designer, structured reports, dashboards, and analytical reports. And administrators are going to have all the same access that power users have. Power users are the default user type. They're the user who contributes to the planning process. They have all the input capabilities, access to view reports, workflow, dashboards, and analytics. They can change query filters, but not the underlying queries. And then finally, the viewer user, they don't have any input capabilities, but they can view reports and dashboards. This is typically an employee who's dependent on the budget data, but is not a budget holder. All right, so I want to open it up to some questions here. If anybody has questions about anything we covered today,